Hey there everyone. On this video, let's look at why viewers dislike Don Lemon. Let's look at this clip between Morgan Freeman and Don Lemon on CNN.
The whole thing, especially the president and Democrats now are talking about income inequality, and that's basically what, when you talk about the richest 85 people on the planet, right?
Yeah.
It's income inequality. Do you think that's, looking at, what's happening in the news now, is that a good idea?
It's a great idea. It is the greatest idea. We have a much more vibrant society when we don't have such a vast chasm between the haves and the have-nots. We need that middle ground that we call the middle class, the people who buy everything, people who use the products that the rich are creating, if they're creating anything other than wealth, right?
Right.
So it's what's happening with the Chinese economy right now. They're changing their whole outlook because they need consumers.
Yeah.
And without a middle class, you're not going to have consumers. You're not going to have it at the level that we normally would have it.
So can I go back to, because I thought what you said was fascinating, because you called it bull when you said people can't, pull themselves up. Do you think that race plays a part in wealth distribution, or either a mindset that you can't
Today?
or cannot? Yeah.
No.
You don't?
No, I don't. Hey, you and I, we're proof. Why would race have anything to do with it? Put your mind to what you want to do and go for that. It's kind of like religion to me. It's a good excuse for not getting there.
Yeah.
Now, here's the issue. He claims he doesn't want to discuss race, yet he consistently brings up race and engages race-baiting questions with his guests. Even with Morgan Freeman. Considering Mr. Freeman's stature and respect in the public eye, baiting him with this question leaves a bad taste with his fans. It's disrespectful to a respected figure. I mean, the only people who agrees with them are those C or D-list celebrities. They feel like they've been underpaid when they're comparing with A-list celebrities. I won't even mention their names, cause you probably don't even know them anyways, so why bring it up? But that's how it is. Anyway, Don asked Morgan Freeman, does race play a part in wealth distribution? I mean, seriously, my guy, is he for real with this question? Don Lemon is among the top 1% earners in the United States, according to IRS. A simple Google search shows that at the peak of his career, he was earning $7 million per year. To be in the top 1%, the average income threshold is about $800,000. So he's making $7 million a year. So asking someone who is far above the top 1% about wealth distribution based on race seems absurd. It almost makes it look like he's portraying himself as a victim with this question. I can guarantee you his lifestyle is vastly different from yours and mine. See, in our society today, what we can achieve largely depends on the individual, right? Regardless of whether you're black, brown, white, or yellow, your wealth is a reflection of your performance. There's no one to blame but yourself at the end of the day. I mean, just look at your bank account. If you see a number that's pretty high, you've been doing something that's pretty right. If it's near depletion, it's likely because you haven't taken the necessary steps to make that goal. It's that simple, no matter what color you are. So Morgan Freeman, he nailed it by responding, both of them sitting there are living proof that racism doesn't exist. I couldn't agree more with what he said. At his age, Morgan Freeman has his own TV show, Through the Wormhole. I don't know if you guys seen it, and has won numerous major awards, including an Academy Award, Golden Globe Award, Screen Actor Guild Awards, and many more. If racism exists, someone please explain how he achieved these accolades and why so many people, including myself, applaud him for who he is on screen and off. if racism exists, why are there so many popular African American celebrities and YouTubers? Considering Denzel Washington, Mike Tyson, Jamie Foxx, Kevin Hart, Chris Rock, Dave Chappelle, Marquise Brownlee, Copy Lane, and even Ice Show Speed, that annoying guy. He's annoying, but hey, people like him. Why? Because there's no racism. If there's racism, there's no one gonna like him, right? Oh, and let's not forget, Don Lemon himself. He's considered a celebrity. So here's the other segment to this short clip between Morgan Freeman and Don.
You know, I said, and it's probably get me in trouble, but I said to some of my colleagues recently, so I know that it's an issue, but it seems like every single day on television I'm talking about race, and it's because of the news cycle, it's in the news, but sometimes I get so tired of talking about it, I want to just go, this is over, can we move on?
And if you talk about it, it exists.
Right.
Yeah. It's not like it exists and we refuse to talk about it, but making it a bigger issue than it needs to be is the problem we have.
So I understand you recently had a birthday. You're 27?
See, here he goes again. He says he hates talking about it, so why the F is he always mentioning about it? It's the way he delivers his message. He thinks he's helping the African American community, like he's the modern day Malcolm X or something. Instead, he's tarnishing his own people. I grew up in the US, attended elementary school, junior high, high school, and a period of time in college. I never felt any racism towards them. No separate bathrooms, no separate seat sections. They did as they pleased, like everybody else, and received the same attention as everyone else. And I used to live in an apartment with black neighbors on both sides of my units, and I never had a problem with them or saw any racism directed at them. So what the heck is Don talking about? So there's a Chinese proverb that goes, 狗改不了吃屎, which translates to a dog can't stop himself from eating feces. It means bad habits are hard to change. That's Don's problem. For years, he has repeatedly fallen back on the old habit of playing the race card. He's been using the same tactic with his guests on his show and his viewers. I think he has a habit of discussing a topic that people know it just isn't true. Back then, yeah, I could see it from reading history books, studying about history, 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s. Yeah, but I think starting from the 80s to now, 2024, it's been about 40 years or so? It changed a lot. I don't really see any. It's all about individual. This is what I think. I think he's messing with people's intellect. If Don is talking about wiping out racism entirely down to 0%, it's impossible due to his cause, as he's always talking about it. If he catches you using a blue pen instead of a black, he'll call you racist. If you happen to wear a white shirt on a Juneteenth day, he'll call you a racist for not wearing a black t-shirt. If you happen to drink a cup of coffee with milk in it, he'll say straight black isn't good enough for you. So he's the one that kept on causing all these issues. So how is it possible to wipe out racism with him, mention everything all about it? I'm pretty sure this racism thing isn't true. Like, he knows it deep down. Then how was he the leading anchorman on CNN? CNN knows this isn't true because they hired him as an anchorman. He was on CNN for 17 years. It was a celebration that they finally let him go because of all the nonsense that he was spewing for so long, selling out his own people about racism for his own personal gain. He has nothing new to offer to his audience, and he just kept on repeating, 狗改不了吃屎. You know, the habit just won't change. So at the end of the day, he goes back to his New York City skyrise apartment with $7 million per year contract and a bunch of racism thoughts in his head to offer. All this time, Don Lemon complains about racism, how he was mistreated, throughout his whole career. Has he ever thought maybe the problem is just him? Maybe people just don't like him. He's the problem, not his color. I'm pretty sure that because of my color, I'm pretty sure me as an individual, somebody just don't like me. But am I going to blame my color? No. It could just, they just don't like me. Maybe they don't like the way how I talk, the way how I walk, the way how I eat, the way how I drink my water, like Mark Zuckerberg, right? Maybe. It's just me, but not my color. It could just be him. I think it is just him. Nobody really likes him as an individual. Alright guys, that wraps it up with my thoughts on Don Lemon. If you enjoyed listening to my thoughts, please graciously hit the like button and sub this channel. It means a lot to me. Stay humble, stay real. Peace out.